and welcome back to another episode of The Blueprint to Thrive, your space for real conversations and practical tools to help you live well, stay grounded, and move forward with purpose. I'm your host, Tamika, and today we're getting into something I think every single one of us needs in our wellness toolkit. That is emotional resilience. Now, if you tune into episode 5, we talked about managing stress without overwhelm, how to create space in your day using simple tools that don't require a total lifestyle overhaul. And I gotta say, so many of you reached out to share how much those tips helped you reset. If you missed that episode, press pause and go listen first. It's the perfect lead in to today's conversation. Let's start here. Life is going to be lifing, right? Given this current climate in the world, there's always going to be something negative, that's something that's going to try to test our balance, okay? So it doesn't matter how well you plan or how healthy your routines are. Curveballs happen. People disappoint us. Things fall apart. Plans change. And that's where resilience comes in. Emotional resilience isn't about being unaffected or always bouncing back immediately. It's about learning how to feel your feelings without getting stuck in them. It's knowing how to regroup when you've been knocked down mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. Okay. So today we're going to talk about what emotional resilience really is and how to build it because, yes, it is a skill that we all need to learn. Okay. And then we're going to go over 3 practical ways in which we can help each other to recover, reset, and to keep showing up when life gets tough. So, resilience, when you hear the word resilience, okay, I don't want you to think about it being tough, being, lifeless, emotionless, or never, crying. No. Emotional resilience is your ability to adapt to change and bounce back from stress, disappointment, or adversity without losing yourself in the process, guys. Okay? It's not about avoiding the hard stuff, it's about handling the hard stuff with grace and honesty. Okay? And here's the good news: resilience isn't something you either have or don't, it's something you can build like a muscle. We have, you know, we have to learn the skill of emotional resilience. Okay? We can't allow our emotionals to hamper us or take charge of how we go about our day. We don't have emotional resilience, stress is going to overwhelm us. We can't carry that weight of, every bad situation, every negative comment with us each and every day. We have to learn to shed it and, step away from it. Okay. We can't live in survival mode every day because that makes you rigid. It makes you hard. It makes you unapproachable. So this is where episode 5 comes in, where we touched on stress and how to prevent it from becoming, an overwhelm for us. So we created that 5-minute reset. We talked about the no list, to help us lay that foundation. But today we're going deeper. Let's talk about how to build that inner bounce back power. Okay. So we're going to be using 3 practical ways to build emotional resilience. So, first up, number 1, name it, don't numb it. Okay. So let us name that emotion. Let us name that situation. Let us not, avoid it. Let us not be in denial about it. Okay. So we definitely have to name it, not numb it. So this is the foundation that I want us to build on today. because you can't bounce back from something you won't admit is there. Start by asking yourself, what am I really feeling right now? Okay. Is it sadness? Is it fear? Is it disappointment? Is it burnout? The more honest we are with ourselves, the more quickly we can process and move through the emotion. Avoiding it just delays the healing. It's like grieving. You go through the different phases of grieving, the anger, the sadness, the denial. And it's the same thing with life, with stress, with each situation that we have and we face each and every day. So we have to name it, not numb it. And it's okay to sit in discomfort. We're not weak for feeling, we're human for feeling. So, number two, let us reframe the story. This one is powerful. After you've named what you're feeling, the next step is to look at the story you're telling yourself. So I want you to look in the mirror. I don't want you to tell yourself a lie to get by, to, appear to be okay. It's okay to confront and to acknowledge that emotion, that situation that you're going through. All right, because our brain loves to make meaning even when the meaning isn't accurate. So let us look at some negatives. Okay, I failed at this, so I must not be good enough. They didn't respond, so they must not value me. This isn't workout, so I should stop trying. Let us instead look at it in a positive light. Okay, I didn't fail. I learned something I can use for next time. They didn't respond, and that's not a reflection of my worth. This didn't work out, but maybe it opened space for something better. Reframing isn't lying to ourselves, it's choosing to look at things through a lens that empowers instead of defeats us. So it's similar to looking at the glass being half full versus being half empty. There's always going to be a pessimist, a negative Nancy, as they call it, but let us look at the glass as being half full, okay? And then the third tip that I leave with you today is anchor to what grounds you, okay? Anchor to what Anchor to what grounds you. Maybe it's your faith, maybe it's nature, maybe it's music, journaling, movement, or a trusted person that you can confide in. Okay, for me, it is my belief. For me, it is my family, my church family. For me, it is believing and knowing how dependable God is and how He is so dependable that, as Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 reminds us, that He is so faithful and His faith is unwavering and He shows up for us just like the sun shows up in the morning, just like the moon shines its light in the evening. Okay, so that's how dependable He is. So find what anchors and what grounds you and stick with that. So, whatever that thing may be, build it into your weekly rhythm, not just when things fall apart, but as part of your ongoing maintenance. So, just like how we have self care days, just as if we have spring cleaning days, we need to ensure that we're building a rhythm throughout the week that helps us to reset, to thrive throughout the week, okay? Because the truth is, you don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your systems. So build a system that supports your emotional well being. So, if we were sitting face to face today, I would ask you, what's one area in your life right now where you need to bounce back? Okay? What's one feeling you've been avoiding that needs some space to be felt? And what's one small step you can take this week to give yourself that space? You don't have to have all the answers, but leaning into the question, that's resilience. Next week, we're continuing the conversation by talking about self worth, not the fluffy kind, but the deep, unshakable kind that helps you make better decisions, stop second guessing yourself, and show up with more confidence. Okay, so let's review real quickly. We talked about naming, not numbing our situation. We talked about positive reframing. So looking at the glass as being half full versus being half empty. And we also mentioned about staying grounded. So you want to surround yourself with people, with situations that will help you to blossom, will help you to thrive as opposed to breaking you down. So, this is my challenge for you for this week. Name what you're feeling, reframe one negative thought, and anchor to something that grounds you. And remember, resilience doesn't mean that you fall, okay? It just means you get up differently. All right. In this episode, emotional resilience, it's something that we have to learn. It's a skill that we have to um grasp and to get better, to become proficient at. So if this episode spoke to you, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And as always, DM me or tag me over at Instagram or Facebook at the Practitioner Collective. And I love hearing your takeaways and how you're growing through the hard stuff. Until next time, keep breathing, keep rising, and of course, keep thriving. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys.